Okay. Well, we live. I just saw. We already talked about that. So we are live, and I just got to go into these platforms and adjust some settings. It like takes a little time. Oh, let me get my life together too. Uh, we are live, and I'm doing this while we're live. All that fucking time I just had, and I waited to go live to do that. Oh, here we go. Okay, there you go. Mute that. Okay, there we go. Sheesh. These are things I can't do until we go live.
Yeah, it's okay. We have to.
And there we go. Now we are all set. So good afternoon. Good afternoon. Now, how do you say your name?
Slava.
Oh, I've been saying it right all this time.
Yes. And how do you say your name?
Kevin.
Kevin. Okay.
Yep.
Raymond.
Coach Kev Ramon.
Okay. Got
Yep.
you. Kika. What's that, Richko?
And you have the babies, and they are busy.
They are always busy.
It's gonna be okay, right?
Yeah, don't worry. We will manage it. I didn't have any, like, no one to look after them, so we have to manage it. But they're nice. You will see.
Okay. Great. See, that other one disappeared. I just seen her run off camera.
Yes, I told her to put on some clothes if she wants to join us, so she might.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, bring them on. Maybe they'll have some words of encouragement to share with us.
She speaks English a little bit, like the old one. This one doesn't anything yet.
Okay, so now where are you from?
Me, I am from Slovakia. That's Central Europe, small country in the middle of the Europe. And where are you from?
I am from the United States, right? I'm in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay. Have you ever been to Europe?
I've never been. Only country I've been to the Middle East, but that was just when I was in the military, and that was for war, so that don't really count.
I see. I would like the first question that is interesting for me with everyone who is on the row of Fruitarian is: do you have fruits available all through the year in your area?
Oh yeah. We were just talking about that yesterday because do y'all have winter out there?
We have, yeah.
So do you get snow? It gets really cold.
Snow and all of those things that look nice in the TV, but it's actually not so pleasant when you live there. Luckily, today we have the fruits available all through the year in the supermarkets, but it's not the same thing like the fresh fruits during the summer.
Of course.
I might also share some tips how to go about this like for people that live in a cold climate.
Okay, because that's that's definitely true, right? But like the trade-off is a lot of fruits that we have access to, we wouldn't normally even have access to at all, right? So like without import, you know, um, so store fruits are obviously not going to be the same quality as like if you grow it yourself, or if you go to like a small market or a farm or something like that. But you got to work with what you got, you know and like I've never had any complaints about the fruits. They still taste amazing. They still clean you out. They still hydrate the body. You still get the benefit. you know um they still heal on all levels, spiritually, physically, emotionally, whatever area of your life you need healing. If you're eating grocery store bought fruits, they're still gonna help assist in that process. They're not gonna interfere with it or slow it down or hinder it in any kind of way. So you still get the benefit, you know, as far as them not tasting as good. As I don't even have a point of reference to make that comparison. So, like, to me, that's a gift to be able to access fruits year round, because nothing's growing here in Ohio when it's cold, when we're in the winter, you know. So yeah, like for me, that's not even like it's not even something I consider. I just, I'm just happy to be able to get. And then there's like there's a pretty nice variety of fruits too. Especially when you go to different markets. Do you have any Asian markets out there?
Not really.
Okay, so we have Asian markets. We have a couple. We don't have a lot. But and the Asian markets have a totally different selection of fruit. They have more tropical and exotic fruits that you can't even get anywhere else. So I don't have any issues through the winter, but what tips do you have for people coming into, a winter season, which is coming upon us shortly, right? Like what do you have? What tips do you have to help get through that period?
Well, like you mentioned, it's still the fruit is still the best. Like when people are saying this as an excuse for not sticking to fruit during the winter, I keep saying that I still choose the banana that is imported to a piece of meat. I know that
Absolutely.
it's not like the best I can have. Definitely for me, the best are like local fruits like apples and pears, and we have different type of cherries. But during the winter, when it's not available, I still choose the banana or imported mango or whatever. But what is like the best tip I could give is to dry your fruits. Like if you have excess amount of cherries in a May. We have a cherry season in a May, June. You can dry them, and same with almost everything, like apricots, plums. We have different type of plums, very delicious ones, and you can dry them. And that's what I used to do when I lived in a house.
So
Currently,
dry them how?
well, the best way is to use the sun. Just cut them into small pieces, put them outside on the sun, protect against birds and those things. But that's only possible if you have like your place to stay in the village. I don't do it either now that I'm living in the city, but that's a really good way to how to keep like local fruits for the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. So when you dry them, though, you change the whole structure of the fruit.
yes, but for me, it's like the best thing you can eat during the winter because it's still fruits. It was dried on the sun, or you can use the dryer. Just use the lowest temperature. And if you put it into the water before eating, it's gonna be soft and nice. So it's for me, it's better than the fruits from supermarket.
Really?
Mm, yes,
Wow.
because it's kind of natural. Like our ancestors used to do things like that. That's
Mm-hmm.
how they kept things for the winter. They didn't have supermarkets, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. The like I personally, as long as I can get fruits, like you can still get fruit, right? Like, what are some fruits you have access to in the winter? Like you mentioned bananas, you mentioned mangoes.
We have
Like,
almost everything because they import everything. Just that
oh,
the quality is not so like because okay, let's say the tangerine season is around December. We don't have tangerines here, but they import it from other European countries like Croatia, maybe Greece. And the season there is November, December, January. So those tangerines are like really nice, sweet, juicy. But let's say from February and the remaining part of the year, the tangerines are like they are terrible usually because they are
hmm,
imported from maybe from I don't know North America, South America. I have no idea, but they have to travel for so long, so that they have to like take them out of the trees when they are still very unripe.
mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So they are not tasty at all. It's just like the last option a person has. But then another thing would be if you have a cellar, is it a correct word?
Cellar.
Cellar, yes. Like, for example, in my area, if you buy, let's say, 100 kilos, 200 kilos of local fresh apples and pear,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna last for a few months. You can keep it for a few months. So that's what I used to do during few winters. Like I bought a lot of apples and pears, and we were juicing them till we stored them in like November, December, and then we were using them till May, and they were still good.
Wow. So you just juiced everything and you put it up in a cellar and it lasted all like through the winter.
We
All
didn't
of
juice it. No, we put it into the cellar, and then every day we took like a few kilos and juice it.
Oh, okay, okay. You didn't juice it all at once. You just stored all the food in there. Okay. Wow. No, I don't even like I've heard that word before, but I've never seen a cellar.
Okay, we have sellers here like Slovakia, Czech Republic, Hungary, and these countries. If you go to the village, like everybody has a cellar. It's a good thing to store the things for the winter.
Where is the cellar outside? Like is it underground?
Well, some are under the house, some
Mm-hmm.
are somewhere beside the house, but they are still under the ground, and some are like made out of stones, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I used to have.
So it's like in the winter, it's like putting them in a freezer.
No, because it actually keeps the temperature above 0. So it's not like in
Really?
the, especially if those cellars are under the ground, they keep the temperature. It
Oh,
doesn't freeze in there.
okay. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think we had those. I don't know. I could be wrong, you know. Uh, but in my area, we don't have those. I've never seen one.
I know, I know.
I think
I've
I've
been,
only heard of it like on TV or something.
that's just the tip for people that live in my area, maybe. Or
Yeah, that's interesting. So, see, like my experience during the winter, I mean, I love the fruits that I get from the store. Like now, of course, like, all of them are not tasting amazing. Like I have difficulty with mangoes a lot. I love mangoes, but I have difficulty sometimes finding good ones. So I just stay away from them. But there's still like, so many other options that I could just go to something else and, I'm not missing a mango. Like if I can't get a mango, but I can get some strawberries and the strawberries taste good, then I'm great with that. Or if I can get grapes, like we have no problems getting grapes here. Um, and the grapes are good. I'm even able to get seeded grapes now, which I'm super happy about. Like through the winter at a market, not even at the grocery store. But so my first year on fruit, getting through the winter was hard because it's cold outside. This is how it was my first year. And I didn't want to eat things that were cold, and even room temperature, it's like that first winter I was wanting to, something hot. I wasn't really wanting fruit at all anyway. I was wanting something hot. And so that first year, I would drink things like lemon water, you know, um, and mix lemon juice with hot water. Uh, I drank teas, like herbal teas. Like I used to buy herbs and I would make teas. And so that's how I did my first year on fruit. And then when I came back to fruit, um, like I had a totally different mindset. Like it didn't matter that it was cold outside, you know, like it was completely irrelevant. And then I started even thinking like, well, what does it even matter that it's cold outside? It's not cold in the house. It's not cold in the car when you get in it. So what difference do it make? You know, and I never like struggled through the winter like since. So like for me, it was just like just a mind shift. And I go through winters like, well, I mean, I don't have a lot of history of doing it. Um, but like the last winter I went through, I like it wasn't nothing for me. Like it was a breeze, you know. So I want to talk about you being a mother as a fruitarian.
yeah.
So how many? Okay, so we talked a little bit, right? We talked a little bit. And you have 3 kids, is that right? And how old is your oldest?
The oldest one is 8, and
Okay.
they are 4, and this Molly is 10 months.
Okay. So tell me about that. Like I really want to know about, because that's actually that's something I would like to do. You know, like I would love to have at least one more child, but in a different country, off grid, and the mother be a fruitarian. Like just all she eats is fruit, all I eat is fruit, all the baby will eat is fruit from the moment of conception. And then when the baby's born, breast milk, and when the baby is able to eat food, fruit, you know. Because I'm just like, I would love to see what that baby would be like. That would be like a super baby.
They
Like,
are, yeah.
so let's start with like if, and of course you don't have to share anything you don't want to share, but you know, your first child, because I know a little bit of that story, right? You want to talk about that or no?
Yeah, we can discuss shortly. Definitely. So he doesn't live with me because being on a I just started being on a raw food, and also I wanted to homeschool him. So my father organized like I don't even know how to call it, but the result was that the son was taken away from me. The main cause was, or the main, hey, let me give her something to entertain her. So the main cause was being on the raw food, and also the homeschooling. So they decided that they need to like save him from me.
For being on raw food and for
Yes,
homeschool.
yes. That were like there were some other reasons, but those are the most important ones, let's say, for
Mm-hmm.
them. So they succeeded, but currently I wouldn't like to discuss this topic further because we have kind of a good relationship with his father.
Mm-hmm.
Even though like we can meet anytime we want, and when he is with me, he doesn't eat like animal products and all of those things that he eats when he's with them. So I wouldn't like to, you know,
So when he comes with you, does he have any issue with you not feeding him the animals and the how the way he eats over there?
like his father or
Yeah,
the
no, like does your son have any issue
no.
with
He's
the way he eats at your house?
what I do is, and this is what I would recommend to everybody who would like to feed their kids more healthy, because they'll like parents will be complaining that kids they want to eat these like chips and meat all the time, and this pizza, pasta, whatever. But what I can say is, first, just don't have it. That's the first thing. If you don't have it, kids are going to eat what you have. And the second thing, especially during those like initial periods, it's better to suggest the kids to eat something. Like if you are faster than the kids coming to asking for food, then they don't even notice that you are feeding them with fruits. Do you understand? It's like I do it maybe 5, 6, 7 times a day, that especially with the older one, I'll be like, do you want to eat watermelon or banana smoothie? And she chooses the whatever banana smoothie. But if leave it like, if I leave her to get to the point when she's hungry, she might come and ask for something that I'm not okay with.
I see. So you offer her things to eat before she's hungry.
Or when I know that she's already getting hungry,
Mm-hmm.
let's say
You
that she
just
ate in like before 2 3 hours, and
Mhm.
we went outside, I know that she played a lot and she's definitely getting hungry, I will come with some options. So
Okay. You
she
don't.
doesn't see, her brain doesn't see like variety of foods. She will just choose what I offer.
Okay. Yeah. And those are good options too. So, you know, and especially, from coming in from outside after playing or something like that, those are really good options. And
Yeah.
so does that like curb her appetite? So like when you do that, does she later like come back to you asking for something, or is she like she's not even thinking about eating anymore after having a smoothie or
Mm,
something?
smoothies, okay, smoothies, fine. She comes back maybe after eating watermelon. That's something that is gonna last maybe for half an hour, and then she's back. But
Hmm.
smoothie, and then also we prepare things like nowadays it's already like very simple. The way we eat is very simple. But before, like 3, 4, 5 years back, I used to prepare a lot of raw dishes, like raw soups, cakes. Even do you have those cereals? What is the name? Cineminis.
They're here. I've
Okay,
seen them before.
so I used to prepare things like that, but in a like raw
Raw.
version
Okay.
from a buckwheat. I made a sprouts from buckwheat, then I dried it, I grounded it, and then I mixed it with dates and cinnamon. I put it on the sheets, I dried it, cut it into small pieces, and we ate it like with fresh coconut milk. So there are a lot of options if you want to keep it.
So, are you still doing that now?
No.
So, okay. So I remember you said like when we talked previously, you're like 95% fruit and like 5% raw. Is that right?
Uh, okay, 90, I would say 90% is like fruit, then 5% might be some nuts and seeds. And then
Okay.
there is this remaining 5% that I want to like clarify. I
Okay.
want to clear. Those are things that I allow to happen to keep like my mental health, because raising two kids, we are in a city, we are living in some kind of society, and sometimes I choose my mental health. Like for example, if I'm carrying this baby in a trolley, I give her a cracker, like a corn or rice cracker. You know those like for babies.
I don't know.
Ah,
I
whatever.
know cracker though. I know what that is.
You know what?
I know what a cracker is.
Yeah, so something like that is just bio and everything. Just that it's definitely like it's not raw usually, because fruits and raw things are very sticky. So I don't like putting her to the trolley with something that is gonna stick like everything. And also, if she doesn't have anything, she's going to jump out. So that's like one situation where I choose to like give her something. But that's it. That's like the only thing she eats apart from fruits. The small one, the baby.
Hmm.
And with the older one, sometimes when we go, like we are social beings, so when we go to the city center, we go there like almost every day. We eat an ice cream, a fruit ice cream, like
Hmm.
no milk ice creams, like those vanilla and blah blah, just like a fruit ice cream.
Like
But
what they call that?
so
The ice cream made from the bananas. What they call that? Nice cream.
that's different thing. That's what we prepare at home. Like if we have time, I definitely prefer to prepare it at home. But sometimes it's like you know you have many things to do and going on in your life, and sometimes you just make an exception, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, I would like us to live in a place where the fruit is available all through the year, and also maybe surrounded by people that eat fruits too, like only fruits, because the pressures from the outside are sometimes too much, especially if it comes from the family, you know, you know about it. So
Mm.
sometimes we make some exceptions.
So your family knows, and your family knows how, your lifestyle, or
Yeah, we don't really like. As I said already, like my father is not okay with my lifestyle. First thing is being on a raw or fruitarian, and the second thing is like following my inner voice instead of obeying something what people think I should do. So we
Mhm.
are not in touch with my father. And my mother, she knows, but she's like not that supportive in this area, let's say. It's not that she's not supportive at all, but let's say the last time she visited, she started explaining me that I have to start feeding kids with cooked food and so on. So I just told her that it's bullshit. I'm not going to feed them with anything because they are healthy comparing to their peers. Like they
Mhm.
don't ever get flu and all of those like common things like I used to have when I was kid. I was sick like once in a month. I used to be sick.
Mhm.
I don't know about your kids, but I used to be sick a lot when I was small.
Mhm.
And those girls, they are not, they don't get sick at all. So I'm like, why should I correct something that is working? You know?
Right. Absolutely. That's so you deal with the same thing there that I deal with here.
Yeah, it's the
But
same
it's,
everywhere.
different dynamic because you're raising kids, like you're raising young ones, you know, and you're starting them off on this path. Like mine's when I had kids, I was full standard American diet, so we just blend right in, you know. Um, my kids were like my oldest were teenagers. They were teenagers when I started, coming over to this way of eating, you know, and and of course, I started coming over to this way of eating unknowingly. I didn't even know I had never even heard of the concept of eating just fruit, but I was just making better decisions regarding what I was eating because I was reading labels and knowing what I was putting in my body. I'm like, I'm not eating that. I'm not, I'm constantly making better choices, constantly making better choices. And I just ended up here because fruit was the only thing that made sense. After all the labels I read and all the research I did, fruit was just the only thing that made sense. Like nothing else made sense, you know. So by the time I got here, I never tried to make my kids do what I was doing, you know. And I have one still here. He's 17, and he does his own thing. Um, he keeps, like I don't allow him to have anything down here on the main level of the house. He can't put anything in the refrigerator in the kitchen. He can't put anything in the cabinets. All his whatever he gets goes in his room. And he has his own refrigerator up there. And, I've already told him, like, if you need anything else, just let me know. I'll get it for you. But I have to keep it separate like that, so in order for us to like peacefully coexist. Because I don't even like seeing those, like anything standard American diet, processed, unnatural. I don't even like seeing it. I don't even like seeing the box, the package.
I understand.
So, and that's been like just working great. It's been working great. We coexist, and it's as if, he see my fruits, because there's fruit, especially now with the watermelon, there's watermelons all over the house. You know what I'm saying? So when he comes in the kitchen, like he sees watermelon, and he'll often, want to have some. Like if I have like a lot of times I'll have like half a watermelon just sitting in the sink, because I'm eating on the other half. And he'll go in the kitchen and, Dad, can I have some watermelon? You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah, of course. So just seeing fruit, he want to eat fruit, and he loves watermelon. He loves watermelon. Like most people love watermelon.
Yeah, who doesn't? I just want to.
Yeah, so, and I'm happy about that because it's, he's eating fruit when he otherwise wouldn't. And then, if I get a new fruit that I've never tried, I'll have him try it with me. Like we both tried durian together, and that was a really fun experience because he didn't like it. And it was funny because he thought it stank, which the first one I got did stink. And so, it was just fun to try it with him. And he really didn't like it. I grew to love it. So, that's how it is with the last one I have left here at the house. So a different dynamic, but as far as like, not getting any support from anyone locally, everyone feeling like what you're doing is unhealthy, everyone feeling like you need to eat some animals, you need protein, you're not getting all the nutrients you need, blah, 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 all, that's pretty typical. Like wherever you are. Like I've never heard anyone talk about like living this lifestyle or even just doing like a cleanse and telling their family or friends and being supported. Like go you, good job. Get your health back, get healthy. Like people never say that.
Yeah, but if you go to McDonald's, no one is going to say a word. Like
Nobody
hey.
say nothing. That's where those conversations should be. No one says anything. Like, why is that? Like, this world we live in is crazy. We live in a mental asylum. That's what this is. Because that's what is encouraged and supported. Us eating unhealthy is what's encouraged and supported and even celebrated. People like you when you eat unhealthy, which is crazy to me. It's like I was listening to a clip from Bobby, one of his I think it was morning something, I forget what it's called. One of his shows he do in the morning. And he was talking about, he was saying something along these lines like, just about like how interesting it is that you're doing things for yourself to improve your health and nobody cares. Like nobody is happy to see you taking care of your health. No one is happy to see you're eating healthy. Like people like really can be mad with you about that.
Because they are not seeing it as healthy. Just like when my older son comes, he keeps telling me that his grandmother, she is a nurse, that she keeps telling him, yes, you can eat fruit, it's healthy, but you still need to eat meat and cheese and all of those things so that you have a strength. So then I'm like, okay, so this girl, like the older one that is 4, she has never ever eaten meat in her life. And even if she's somewhere where they, like, let's say that she went to kindergarten for a couple of months, and even when they were giving them meat, or let's say that they had a soup, she always asked, is it like a meat soup, even if the meat was not inside? And if they tell her that it's like a meat soup, she didn't eat it. So she has never ever eaten meat, and she doesn't eat animal products, a very very small amount of cooked food or like processed foods. Just like I said, there are some situations let's say the 5%, and she's healthy. So how come? She's flexible, she's smart, she can do things that older kids cannot do when we are outside at the playground. So how come? Tell me.
You know what I don't understand? What I don't understand is this, like, along the lines of what you were saying, like this muscle mass thing and this strength thing, right? Like, what do people think you are not going to be able to do if you eat just fruit? Like, what? Like, what do you need? Like, what type of strength are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, because I don't lack strength to handle my normal daily activities. I don't lack strength to work out. What type of strength are you talking about? Like pick up a car strength? Like if you question a person on that logic, I guarantee they won't even have an answer. They won't even have a sensible answer because it don't even make sense. You know, nobody's passing out from eating fruit. Like you could do everything that anyone else can do naturally.
Better.
Naturally, right? A lot of people, like sometimes, like a lot of people's strength is unnatural and they consume unnatural things to have that unnatural strength. You
And
know,
then
like,
from like
well,
40 50, they usually suffer physically.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, because it's poison.
Just
It's,
like
it's all unnatural.
okay, Schwarzenegger, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Even doctors told him at some point that if he wants to remain kind of healthy, he has to stop eating animal products, especially meat. So even those people are already like understanding what is going on. I think he even made like a movie about like become a vegan or something like that. I've not seen it, but I,
Mm-hmm.
and most
Yeah.
people know that used to be like culturists and all of those
Mm-hmm.
unnatural muscles. One of them is like 60 something, and he's last 10 years he has been on drugs, but he still won't stop eating like cheese and meat and cottage. He barely eats an apple or something like that. He's just very like occasionally,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing. Even the suffering is not going to stop him from the programs he's carrying.
Mm-hmm.
So some
Yeah.
they just choose to be blind and die blind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like that whole like argument, it don't even make no sense. And then like people like sometimes people ask me about muscle mass. I'm like, for what? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to compete as a bodybuilder? Like, and like women be asking me this. Like, do you even know what you're talking about? Like, what do you need? Like, what do you need muscle mass for? Like, what do you need it for?
Me personally, I don't even have a scale at home. If someone asks me, "Did you lose some weight?" or I'm just like, I don't know. I have
Mm-hmm.
because I don't need to know. As long as I'm feeling healthy and I'm feeling good, then
Mm-hmm.
what is the reason to be measuring something?
Yeah, that's the ultimate barometer, right? Is how do I feel? Like I feel great. I
But
feel great.
yeah, but most people they can't feel their bodies anymore. That's why they need someone to tell them, like doctors. They need doctor to tell them if they are healthy or not.
Yeah, and they don't like they a lot of people like people typically will trust a quack over themselves. They will trust like a person could be feeling great, right? A person could be feeling great. Go to the hospital. Just get like a checkup and the quack could come back and tell them you have cancer. And it don't even have to be true, right? It could be completely made up. And that person that was just feeling great will just accept what they were just told. And now psychologically or mentally, they're suffering. And people just like so many people, they just believe what those quacks tell them. Like they don't question it, they don't like nothing. And they'll even listen to them over the voice on the inside, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't even go. I haven't been to like a hospital for me. I can't even tell you when the last time I've been. And probably it's definitely one of my main motivations for eating the way I eat is because I never want to go. Like I don't ever want to have to go and trust my health to a stranger that don't give a fuck about me.
I heard that a hard way. I learned that a hard way. The last time I was in a hospital was when I gave birth to my first child, and that's when and where I realized like how messed things are, messed up. Like I
Yeah.
saw it from the first from the first line. I
Hmm.
was an active participant, and it was something terrible. From that point, I started taking responsibility for my health and life in general, so that I don't have to rely on anybody anymore.
Hmm.
And
That's who hospitals are mainly for. You have, of course, you have like exceptions, right? Like if you break a bone or something like that, or you're in a car accident or something like that. But the majority of people that go to hospitals are people that have just neglected their health and they've just been poisoning their bodies all their lives, no regard for what they've been consuming. And they just didn't value or appreciate their health at all. They didn't take care of it at all. You know, they disrespected their health. And so they go to a hospital, and that's not where you're going to find health.
Yeah.
You will never find health in a hospital. Their answer for everything is drugs, which are further poisoning your body. You're at the hospital in the first place because you've been poisoning your body with what you've been eating and drinking. And now you go to them, and now you're paying them to poison your body even further with these drugs that have tons of side effects. And what usually happens is the number of drugs that you find yourself taking increases over time. Like you never come off of it, right? Like you never come off of it. You stay sick. You're not getting better. You're not getting healthier. You're just covering up symptoms. This is your way of refusing to deal with the real problem, to address the real issue, and just ignore it.
Yes,
You
because
just
people
ignore it.
they want fast solutions.
They want what?
Fast solutions.
Oh yeah, but see, that's not even a solution.
Yeah.
You
But
understand what I'm saying?
like for an hour or two, maybe a day
Yeah, that's
sometimes.
not even. It just makes you feel better, but you're still sick.
It doesn't even make you feel better. It makes you, I would say that they are killing the receptors in your body, in your brain, and in the body, so that you are disconnected from the pain and from what is going on in your body. So you are actually not even feeling better.
Well, I mean, you're not feeling the pain,
Yes, you are not
right?
aware.
But the way they do it is not natural. That's unhealthy. Like you're just getting worse. They don't have solutions. They don't practice medicine. Like people think these quacks practice medicine. They're not practicing medicine. Food is medicine. This is
Fasting,
medicine. This
fasting
is
is
medicine right here. Watermelon, peaches, plums, apples, pears, strawberries, blueberries, bananas, grapes, oranges. That's medicine. Drugs are not medicine. Drugs are drugs.
I would
That's
say.
what they practice. They don't put people on medicine. They put people on drugs. That's what they do. They're just dealing drugs.
That's what they get money for, right? Not for you.
Yeah.
They don't get money if you get healthy.
Big Pharma is just a fancy name for drug dealer. That's all it is. They're drug dealers. They're government drug dealers. But instead of saying drug dealer, they just say we're the pharmaceutical industry. No, you're a fucking drug dealer. These aren't pharmaceuticals. These are drugs. This is not medicine. These are drugs.
That's what I said to my aunt, which she used to have like a big pharma distributor or whatever, pharmacy. And there was an issue with our family member, and they wanted to send the family member to the hospital to like help them. And I was like, if you are calling me, because she called me and she was kind of asking me if I don't know what she wanted to ask. I said, if you are calling me to ask me to take the person to the hospital, I'm not the one doing it. Like the person can stay with me, we can eat fruits, like I can spend time with her, but I'm not taking her to the hospital. I'm sorry. And she was like, but sometimes it might help. I was like, no, it never helps. I'm sorry, it never helps. It might like help with the symptoms for a while, but it's not gonna solve the cause. Like never ever. So ever since then, another family member is not talking to me.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
Yeah, that's very okay.
That's okay. Yeah. So, man, I feel like that was a really great dialogue. It was a
Yeah.
great dialogue.
Back to the point now, let me ask you a question, because I don't even know, like, how long have you been on the raw or fruits, especially for my audience who don't know you.
I don't even know when I started. I go through like my Facebook memories to try to pinpoint, you know, like what year I started. So the first year I ate fruit, where I just ate all fruit for the year, I'm just estimating. I don't know. It was probably about I'm gonna say maybe like around 3 or 4 years ago. Maybe three, maybe two. It might have been two. I don't know. But I ate I ate fruit for a whole year once. That's when I started, like, I just jumped all in. Prior to that, I was transitioning. I was just doing a lot of transitioning. And then I jumped all in. And like I just slowly went to that though. Like I didn't just go to all fruit. I was eating, 20% fruit, then, maybe 40% fruit, and 60%, and then, 70, 80, 90, 95, and then 100. But like my whole transition was guided by my inner voice, because when I decided to, embark on this journey, once I made that decision, I didn't know where I was going. I had no intentions of eating just fruit, but I'm listening to my inner voice the whole time. And when I'm on 20%, 30%, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 95% fruit, listening to my inner voice, I did not have peace at 90, not even 95% fruit. Like I did not have peace with staying there. It wasn't until I got to 100% that I had peace. So that's how I knew, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be then. Once that was clear to me, I jumped all in and I did fruit for a whole year. But I struggled. I went through a lot of withdrawals, especially with dairy addiction, um, different things, dairy addiction, um, gluten addiction, addiction to fats, addiction to salt. So I was still dealing with different addictions during that first year. I was having dreams. Like I was having dreams like every week, probably near the end of that first year. I started having I would have like a dream like every week about eating something that I didn't want to eat no more, you know. And so I ended up just giving in to the cravings over time. Something I learned about cravings, temptation, addiction is until you deal with the addiction, the cravings will never leave. Like they will always come back. And you could fight battles and you can win, but they coming back. And I just got tired. I'm like, man, I'm tired of this shit. It was just constant. And then, um, during this period, I learned how to fight effectively, though. And I stopped fighting the cravings, the temptation, the addiction. And I went on a search to discover why I was dealing, why I had these addictions in the first place. And once that was revealed to me, and at the root of that, I'm not going to talk a lot about it, but at the root of all addiction is ungratefulness. And that ungratefulness, the foundation or the strength of that ungratefulness is deception. So once I discovered, well, not discovered, once these things were made aware to me, that's when I did my watermelon journey last year in 2023. That's when I started it. Like that journey for me was an expression of gratitude. That's what it was about, because the ungratefulness was the strength of the addictions. So my act of being grateful was, I'm not going to chase these pleasures through what I eat anymore. That's what I was doing, chasing pleasure, because I'm not grateful in the present moment. I'm not thankful for the present moment. I feel like something is wrong with this present moment and it needs to be better. And eating something which is unnatural and unhealthy, but has the same effects as drugs do on your brain, that dopamine release, I said, I'm not doing that no more. And that's when I decided to do the watermelon, and that's why. And the first day I did the watermelon, I was set free from all of the remaining addictions that I had. And I did that first day, and then I did a second day, and then I eventually did 160 days on the watermelon, and I could do it because for the first time in my life, I was addiction free. And it's like I could do whatever I want now. Like I could eat however I want now. So I was free to eat fruit, which is what I wanted to do. Like I didn't want to eat nothing else. And now I was free to do that. So I did that 160 days of eating like just watermelon, like nothing else. And since that journey, when that journey ended, I've eaten nothing but fruit since then. And so currently, well, my first record was a year of fruit. And currently I'm on, I believe, 489 days of eating fruit, like just fruit, nothing else. And I have no intentions of eating anything else ever again. I don't even want anything else in my body but fruit, nothing else.
What about nuts and seeds? What are your thoughts?
Those are fruits. Nuts and seeds are fruits. If the seeds come from fruits.
Yeah, so I don't avoid fruits and seeds either. Just that some fruitarians, they are like too strict about it.
They're fruit. They're fruits. I don't understand the issue there.
Well, I don't
They're
understand
fruits.
the issue either. For me, I don't crave nuts anymore. But for example, if we go out and the only option they have is like a raw cake made of nuts and some fruits, I definitely go for it. Like I have no problem eating. But I don't know about you, but if I eat something like that, it's definitely like it digests far more longer than fruits. Like if I eat a raw cake, it's gonna take, I can survive like 2 days on it.
Yeah, but see, you're not talking about eating just nuts. You're talking about a whole cake. See, I don't eat anything like that. I just eat fruit. So I'll eat the nuts, which I want to get away from them because I find them to be a little addicting. right? Like they're just too fun to eat. And I'm just like, when I pop them in my mouth, and I'm just like, that whole experience, I enjoy it too much, So for that reason, it's like I don't have the self-control that I like having when I eat nuts. So for that reason, I'm gonna get away from them. I don't know if I'm there yet, but anything that I enjoy that much, I'm like, I don't even want that. I enjoy that too much. I don't want that. It's like I've heard people say, and I feel this way too, like there are drugs that I'm scared to try because I don't want to feel that good. I don't know how I would handle that. And then when you see how other people handle it, it's like, oh, they feeling too good. I don't want to feel that good. Like that's like that's unhealthy and unnatural to feel that good. At least off of an artificial substance. You can feel good like that naturally, though. The more you get tuned in with the spirit, but using like an unnatural substance to no, So yeah, like I think like that about nuts. Like I have too much fun eating them. Like I could just lay in bed and just pop them, just continue just popping them in my mouth, just popping them. And I don't even really, and because they're so small, and you just popping them back to back, you don't even realize when you had enough until you've overdone it. This is how it is with me, because just little bites at a time, just little bites at a time, and they're accumulating, but you don't even realize it. And then all of a sudden it's like, man, I'm stuffed, so, but nevertheless, like I've used nuts a lot to help me like really get off of the animal flesh. Because when you're dealing with those addictions and wanting to transition, and with my experience, there were times where I didn't want the high liquid fruits. I wanted something more dense, heartier, more filling. I wanted something heavier, and nuts did it. And for me, it's a win-win because they're fruit. So like I'm eating healthy, and it's keeping me from going back to eating the flesh off of these corpses of what used to be animals. Right? So, transitioning is a really long journey. Right? Like even you, like you just mentioned how you're still transitioning, right? You like that 5%. But, I feel like you would like to transition away from that at some point too. Right? But this is where you are right now. So like I've been through the raw phase where I used to eat the different raw things. The raw community, they have like a raw version for a lot of standard American diet things. And so I've been through that phase. I've been through the vegan phase. I've been through all of them as far as I know. And none of them, like those are not resting places for me. If I'm eating like that, yeah, that's better. But that's not where you stay. For me, it's 100%. We all the way. We all the way.
I can confirm. I definitely feel the best during the days that I eat only fruits, like nothing else, not even the nuts.
Mm-hmm.
So I can confirm.
Yeah, and I do notice too, like you had mentioned this, there is a difference in because nuts are denser and heavier, right? There is a difference in the digestion of them. Like, I'm not gonna go like into detail on this, but like your bowel movements are totally different on nuts. And I notice now I like decide what I'm gonna eat sometimes by how my bowel movements are. If I don't like the bowel movement, I'll say I'm not eating that no more. I don't know what's going on in this toilet, but I don't like it. So I use that now to help guide me to decide what I'm gonna eat and what I'm not gonna eat. Which is, I find that to be really interesting. But
Well,
I do.
for me, what works like it was not intention, but after a few seasons, I found myself enjoying the most local and seasonal fruits. Like if there is apricot seasons, because we have like amazing apricots close in Hungary, they have like amazing apricots. So where there is apricot season, that's like I can eat apricots for 2-3 weeks, and that's all I need.
Mm.
Just like with watermelon. Yeah, we don't have watermelon all through the year. I don't know about you, but we don't. So then we have the seasons of different fruits, and that's what I enjoy the most too. So I understand you. And I'm saying those remaining 5% are just like, let's say that we want to socialize with other people, just sit down, eat a raw cake or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I don't know if you still socialize with people, but
I mean,
if you
I will, but I'm not gonna. I'm at a point now. This was transitioning too because I used to, right? But I've grown to a point now where if I do socialize, it's gonna be on my terms, meaning I'm not compromising the way I eat to socialize. I'm on fruit, period. I don't have to talk to nobody. Like, I don't talk to people locally at all. Like, the only person I talk to in my city is my brother. And we get together usually once a week and just catch up and talk about whatever. That's it. I don't talk to nobody else. Like, I don't have conversation with no one else here. And I'm good with that. Because like I'm done, like for so much of my life, I've always negotiated and compromised my position. You know what I mean? Like my values to different degrees, just so I can hang with somebody or so someone would hang with me, so someone would want to hang with me. So I would do things that I really, that I'm trying to get away from, but I'll just hold on to a little longer because I don't want to let this person go. I don't want to let the relationship go. I'm not there anymore though. Like so now it don't matter. I don't have to talk to anybody at all here. I mean, the truth is like my family is on social media. My family is on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, even TikTok. That's where I socialize at. Social media. And of course, like it would be great to socialize with people in person. And I that would be great.
sorry,
But it's not if I have to eat something other than fruit, it won't be. And not if I have to look at somebody else eat things that have the potential to tempt me. It's not. Like I'm not even going to enjoy that social interaction in that type of atmosphere. You know, I don't even like, you know, so, and I'm not going to fake it, you know, like, no, I don't even want to be a part of that, you know, so that, I mean, that's where I'm at now though. And, you know, I'm steadily growing. I'm steadily going up. It's up. It's always up, you know, so wherever that takes me, whatever that looks like, the exciting part about this journey is I don't even know what that means. When I say it's up, when I say it's run it up all the way up, I don't even know what that looked like. But I'm here for it. And I want to see whatever it looked like, I know it's good. And that's all I need to know. Because I've never had to let anyone go from my life that was beneficial to my life. Never. And you will never be required to do that. The only people, the only activities that you need to let go of are the ones that are holding you back, stunning your growth. So, you know, for me, growth is super important to me. I'm not negotiating that. I'm not compromising that. Nobody on this planet, no activity on this planet is worth me compromising my growth. Period. Nothing to talk about. I don't give a fuck what it is or who it is. That's where I'm at, you know. But again, this is transitioning. This is like I've grown to this point, you know, and I'm not done growing. So I don't know what I'm gonna be like in a couple months from now. I might be a totally different person just a few months from now. I don't know. But I'm here for it. And it's exciting. It's exciting because I never would have thought, just like say like 10 years ago, I never would have thought I would have been someone that ate watermelon, like just watermelon for 160 days. I never would have thought I would be someone that eats only fruit. And this whole lifestyle is so exciting to me. And one of the things that I love about it most is like, I'm like here, I'm the only one doing it. You know, and I've always liked being different anyway. I never liked doing what everybody else does, looking like everybody else looks, dressing like everybody else dresses, you know, just falling in line like a good little sheep and just blending in. I've just never been that person, you know. So my life is set apart from everybody else's, you know, and I love that. I love it. I love everything about this journey. And I'm so happy to be on it. So for me, like there's just no like at this point, there's no reason to compromise. Like if fruit being the best thing you can eat on the planet, eating fruit is the best way you can love yourself and love your body and value and appreciate your health. Right? For me, why would I eat anything less? Like it just don't make sense to me because I value my health. Like I'm so happy to be healthy. Like I'm so happy to be healthy and functional and mobile and independent and not need anybody for nothing. You know, I don't ever want to lose that. I'm not gonna lose that because I have a say in whether I do or not. We all have a say. I'm not letting that go. That means too much to me. Whatever it takes, whatever it takes. If I'm 170 years old I'm still gonna be riding motorcycles, eating fruit, working out, driving on my own, going to work, coaching people, writing books. I'm gonna be doing everything I do right now. I'm determined. Like I'm not willing to settle for anything less because I don't have to. I don't have to settle for less. So why would I? This is how I think. These are conversations I have with me. Like when I sit like when I'm alone and questioning why I do what I do. And is all of that really necessary? Like, yeah, it is. It absolutely, after I had these conversations with myself, like, yeah, it is necessary. It is necessary for me to isolate. You know, it is necessary for me to eat fruit and nothing else.
I
Like,
can.
this is personal for me. Like, it's so personal to me. I don't want anything. Like, I see this body, this vessel, this temple. I don't know. Like, I see it as holy. I don't want anything in it but fruit. That's it. You know. So go ahead. I heard you trying to jump in there. So I just went off a little bit.
Saying that I can definitely relate, and I'm kind of on my way. We all have our own path. Just for example, I don't even visit my grandmother anymore because she cannot accept the fact that I don't want her to offer my kids sweets or just a pancake or it's just a piece of cake. I mean, like a standard cake made with eggs and flour, butter, and all of these things that we don't eat. And she just can't. She can't understand. So, and I told her a few times, I will not feed them with these things. So it's either you will stop offering or we will stop going here.
Mm-hmm.
And she choose.
Yeah. That's that's disrespectful for her to offer her things that you have expressed to her you don't want her offering.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful. Like she didn't even consider, like these are your children. She had no consideration for how you want to raise them and what you feel is best.
That's what I yeah, that's what I tell them. It's like you had your children, you raised them the way you wanted to raise them, you fed them the way you wanted to feed them. We see the results. And now let me do it my way. I know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing. So, but it's not only about offering. They will also try to program, like those programs are so strong. They will also try to program kids, like saying things like, but they have to eat this, they have to eat this, other way they will get sick. And I don't even want my kids to listen to those things because unconsciously, it's gonna stay there, the information. They are too small to recognize like what is the truth and what is not. So it happens to me. I realized this when we were staying with my mother, and she kept saying that I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't sleep at night. She said it like for 5 6 times, and then after 2 weeks my older daughter said, Mommy, I couldn't go to sleep last night. And I was like, oh, that's it. Like they repeat everything they hear unconsciously. So
Yeah,
even this is very important, like to keep them away from these influences, like people telling them, you have to eat this, you have to do this, you have to blah, 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 because it's just like programs.
you know something else I noticed was this is just how sneaky and crafty they are with the programming. I was over my son's house a little while ago, my oldest son. And, I was over there, hanging out with them, visiting my granddaughter. And, the TV's on. And, the cartoons, right? And I'm looking like I like this cartoon. Like I'm watching it, with the girl. Like I'm watching it more than she is. But what I noticed is they always in these cartoons catered to the children. The programming starts really young because if you notice, they're gonna be eating something in the cartoons. They're gonna be making something, cooking something, baking something, eating something, and it's hardly ever fruit. It's gonna be something unnatural,
Yeah.
unhealthy,
Pizza.
something that's not even food. And they're programming. Now the child is watching that on a cartoon, watching these cartoon characters make a cake or whatever, eat donuts, like whatever they doing, you're planting seeds in the hearts and the minds of those children. They start really young. When I noticed that, of course, I never like noticed that before because like I was on that same frequency when I was raising kids. So it didn't mean anything. But now when I see that, it's like, wow, wow, like that's crazy.
And it,
So
yeah.
do you watch TV?
If no one like if I'm staying with girls alone, we don't. I even like cut the screen time completely of like 2 months back, like completely like no screen time at all, and I'm kind of enjoying. It's better. If we watch something, it must be like under my supervision that we watch something together. It's just like a movie, funny movie about animals or something like that. But I stopped all of these programming things,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah,
Mm. Well, Slava, we
yeah.
gonna wrap this up. You got your hands full over there with them two beautiful girls. I don't where the other one at?
Hmm?
Where the other girl at?
The other girl,
Yeah.
she's just hanging around. My
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so it's been great dialoguing with you. Um, if you have anything you want to say, you got anything before we get off of here?
I would just like to maybe encourage parents to don't be afraid to go these paths with their kids. Like the other day, I met a guy with his young son at the playground outside. The son was maybe a year and a half, and I was feeding my baby with grapes or blueberries, something like that. And I just made like a funny comment that this girl, she would be eating like all through the day. And he said, we have the opposite problem. And I said, and what are you trying to feed the boy? Because me, I'm feeding her like only with fruits. And he said, well, actually the fruits are the only thing he would eat willingly, but we give him the fruits only like if he deserves it, like after eating a bread with ham or something like that, we give him fruits. So that's it. I was just like, so why don't you just feed him with fruits? It's like kids, they can feel it. If you don't if you don't force them to start eating something else, they can definitely feel that this is the best thing for them. Like if you place a baby in the bed with a small kitten and with a fruit, there is no way the baby is going to eat the kitten, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's
So
such a good analogy too. I
yeah,
love
I am not the only one feeding, or those kids. My kids are not the only one kids in the world eating fruits. There are many couples that do it this way, and it's like the results are amazing. Kids are healthy, smart. So just go ahead if you feel this calling for sure.
Hey, someone asked a question. I was just looking at the comments, and this is quick. How long have you, how long have you been on your fruit journey? How long have you been fruitarian?
Yeah, for like 7 years. I went like cold turkey ever since. No, okay. I cut off meat, then dairy, flour, like gluten and all of these things, and then I I started eating fruits. I had like a terrible headache for a week, and after I added some raw dishes because there is this addiction, especially mental addiction. It was not even about like physical addiction anymore. Just like, those memories coming. This is the food I used to eat when I was a kid and I'm missing it now. So I try to prepare it in
Hmm.
a raw version. And this period lasted for like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. And then after I got rid of all of these emotions connected to food and all of those dishes, I started to simplify my eating habits. So currently, it's been maybe like three years that I eat 90+% fruits, usually monostyle. The only thing I combine are is avocado, cucumber, tomatoes, and pepper. That goes together for me. But other things just, yeah. So it's just like 7 years raw, and I would say fruitarian is like, because for me, what it means raw for me is that people still prepare a lot of raw dishes. What makes detox and everything, it makes it more difficult for the body to digest. So there is this difference between eating raw and eating, and also those people eating raw, they eat a lot of salads that I don't find to be like very proper nutrition for our body. But some people, they enjoy it, so that's their choice. I don't do that. So like raw, I would say raw for 7 years, fruitarian like 3 years.
Okay. Um, Another question from Garden Treats on Instagram. What fruit have you experienced that increased breast milk?
Well, I make sure that I eat enough juicy fruits. So if there is watermelon available, I eat at least like 80% of what I eat is watermelon. Now that I'm breastfeeding, I always have watermelon. In case there is no watermelon available, I choose apples. Those are like the best ones for me. Apple juice, like fresh apple juice, and watermelon, definitely.
Okay, okay. Well, we about to wrap it up. It's afternoon there. It's morning here.
Yeah.
Um, you have a great rest of your day, and to everybody that came on, I hope you found this conversation, because this wasn't really like an interview. This was just more like a conversation with two fruitarians, and like I learned about being a fruitarian mommy a little bit, which I really wanted to know about. And it was great talking to you, Slava. And we'll see y'all.
Yeah, it was great to talk to you too. I'm very sure that it's gonna be um, very beneficial for people in my country, because we have like few fruitarians, but none of them is so, I'm sorry to say it, like crazy enough to eat like monostyle for months. So I'm sure they will appreciate this conversation we had too. I'm gonna translate it and share it among my people. And there is much more to say about fruitarian motherhood and kids on the raw diet. So maybe we will meet one day again.
I
And
was just thinking that there's just a lot of things I didn't even get to ask you about. And you know, I guess that's like not realistic, you know, to be able to ask everything and talk about everything, in a short interview. So yeah, maybe we'll get back on again, because I enjoyed talking with you.
yep, same here. So do have a nice day. over there. See you
Good
soon.
day, everybody. Good day, everybody.
Yeah.